Following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFangy coming to you with what will hopefully be a successful review, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Legacy Core Class Shockwave. The only Core Class figure in Wave 2, and sorry if I said Wave 3 a moment ago, I'm excited because Wave 3 of Legacy is now just starting to hit retail stores here in the States, and it seems like it was just a month ago that we had Wave 2 from Legacy arrive. So, Shockwave is the only Wave 2 Core Class figure in the Legacy line that is an entirely brand new mold. His wave mates include Legacy G2 Megatron, who is a repaint of Kingdom Megatron, as I showed off in my review of that figure. And the third figure is, I believe, just I think it's a re-release of Core Class Optimus Prime, unless that's Wave 3. I honestly cannot say. I recently visited my local Target store, and all the figures they had, all the Core Class figures they had for the Legacy line were from Wave 3, with Shockwave being the one exception. So yeah, here's a close-up of Shockwave. Here he is in his box. Again, I hate the open window packaging. Here's his vehicle mode on the artwork. It's a space cannon, just like his G1 version, but it comes with an additional radar satellite deflector dish, which doubles as a handheld weapon when he's in robot mode. Here's some artwork of Shockwave on the side of the box. It's a nice action pose of him. The other side of the box, you've got the Decepticon side for the poster image of the Legacy line. In the back, you've got your product photos. You've got Shockwave in his robot mode and in his space cannon vehicle mode. And he transforms back and forth between both modes in 11 steps. So yeah, Shockwave is one of the more impressive Core Class Transformers figures. That said, I do hope someday soon we get a new Leader Class figure of Shockwave, because the figure we got in the Siege line, even though it's still an exceptional figure of Shockwave, I still think that Shockwave is new for a new Leader Class sized figure. So yeah, there is Core Class Shockwave one last time inside his box. And Shockwave is one of the few Transformers figures who's had the honor of being given a Core Class figure in two different Transformers lines ever since Core Class was introduced. In addition to the Legacy version of Shockwave, there's also the Core Class Shockwave from the that was released in the Studio Series line from the Bumblebee movie. That one, when it was released, was one of the more sought-after Core Class Transformers figures, and I haven't collected the Bumblebee movie line, so this has become the first and only Core Class Shockwave figure I've had in my collection, so that's why I'm excited to have it. So without further delay, let's get Shockwave out of his box and take a close look at him in robot mode. Alright, and so here's Shockwave out of his box and in his robot mode, and unfortunately this copy of Core Class Shockwave has very loose joints in the knees, and I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but Shockwave's robot mode pelvis, the way it transforms, it doesn't want to stick in place, so unfortunately there's a lot of loose joints here on Legacy Shockwave, so that's a bit of a letdown. But apart from that, he does have decent amount of articulation for a Core Class Transformers figure. Head is on a swivel joint, so it can rotate left and right 360 degrees. You got ball joints on the shoulders, so the arms, if you can get them angled around Shockwave's backpack, they can spin 360 degrees forward and backward. Ball jointed elbows, so the lower arm can go up and down at the elbow, and it can swivel around there. No wrist articulation, no waist articulation, so that's unfortunate, but you do have ball jointed hips, so legs can go forward that far, they can go back that far. Ball joint weighted knees, so legs can bend that much. They can actually go a lot farther, but that's primarily due to transformation, so won't mess around with that too much. And iconically, just like almost every action figure of Shockwave that's been released, in addition to his iconic robot mode head where he has just one eyeball, on this arm Shockwave has a laser cannon mounted on his wrist, whereas on his other arm it's a standard hand, so that's really nice to see that they were able to replicate that here on the new Legacy Core Class figure. And for his and if you want, you can attach Shockwave's radar-ish weapon onto his one hand, on his hand in robot mode, and now he has a deflector ish type laser gun weapon, so that's pretty cool to see. From the early product photos, I mistakenly believed that the deflector dish was the base that it's mounted on, which is the purple base that matches up with Shockwave's body. I honestly thought that that was a claw on the base of the deflector dish, like it was a claw clamping on the bottom of it due to how it's shaped and the product photos that were presented, but I realize now that's not the case, but it's still pretty fantastic looking for what it is, being a radar dish or a satellite dish. It does a fairly good job of looking pretty great. So for some quick size comparisons with some previously released Shockwave figures, here we have the previous, I think this height is 3.5 inches tall. I apologize for not measuring it before starting recording the video review, but for a size comparison with the previously released a 3-inch tall Shockwave figure, here is Legacy Shockwave next to Combiner War Shockwave. I just said previously released when the Bumblebee movie Core Class Shockwave figure was released just a few months before this one, but the more G1 inspired Shockwave, previous one before Legacy was this was the Legends class Shockwave that was sold in the Combiner Wars line. So here's a size comparison of a 3-inch figure of Shockwave from 2015 versus one in the current year of 2022 at this time of this recording. And it is amazing looking at Legacy Shockwave compared to Combiner War Shockwave. The similarities are and the differences do balance out each other quite extensively. One nice thing that Combiner War Shockwave has over the Legacy Shockwave is that his hand is an actual 5mm fist, so it can hold 5mm weapons on it. Here on Legacy Shockwave, his fist is actually only designed for 3mm peg-on weapons, so it is a tad unfortunate, but yeah, I'm really thrilled at seeing the G1 accuracy that Legacy Shockwave has over the old Combiner War Shockwave figure. Now, I touched on this in my review of Core Class G2 Megatron, but look, from other reviews and other videos I've seen and all the product photos I've seen of Legacy Core Class Shockwave, similar to his wave mate of Core Class G2 Megatron, this guy is trying to be a miniaturized version of a previously released large-sized Transformers action figure. So for another size comparison with another Shockwave figure, here's Legacy Core Class Shockwave next to Warper Cybertron Trilogy Siege Leader Class Shockwave. And based on, we'll actually see it a lot more in vehicle mode when we get him transformed, but Legacy Core Class Shockwave, from all the reviews I've seen, he looks like a miniaturized version of the Warper Cybertron Trilogy Siege Shockwave figure, so that's really great to know that Hasbro and Takara Tomy have successfully made a smaller sized Shockwave figure. The Siege Shockwave, this currently is still my favorite Shockwave action figure, so the fact that the Legacy version of the Core Class figure successfully tries to be a miniaturized version of Siege Shockwave, that's a instant win for me. So without further delay, let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode and wrap up the review. Alright, and here's Shockwave in his spaceship mode. Again, it's designed to be almost like a miniaturized version of Siege Shockwave, with the one exception of the satellite dish on the top of him. And yeah, he is made of a nice shade of purple plastic. First size comparison, here it is with Combiner War Shockwave, and again, this is more like a great purple, this is more of a, I wouldn't know what to call this other than like Decepticon purple, which was Shockwave's original color scheme. Yeah, there's just a size comparison of the two generations 3-inch tall Shockwave figures. And for one last special size comparison, I probably have it mistransformed because this one part I have on won't. Or did I have it upside down? I had it upside down. That explains everything. Alright, and so for one last special as comparison, here is Legacy Core Class Shockwave next to War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Leader Class Shockwave. And again, as you can tell by the wings and everything, this is meant to be a miniaturized version of this. So there's quite a size difference between these two figures. But overall, I do enjoy that the number of similarities are rival that of the number of differences between the two of them. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Legacy Core Class Shockwave. Do I recommend getting him the reveal question for the review? Absolutely, I do. You cannot go wrong having Legacy Core Class Shockwave in your Transformers collection. So I hope that those of you who haven't picked him up yet are able to find him. From what I've seen, it appears that Shockwave is getting a second release in Wave 3 of the Legacy line, along with a re-release of the Kingdom Core Class Optimus Prime, which is why Bombburst, who I already reviewed last week, he is the only Core Class figure that's brand new for Wave 3 of the Legacy line. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been the TFN Geek, and until next time, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.